Greetings and salutations, fellow MMO lovers. Brian here, and today we're going to be talking about should you return to New World for Season 5. Now, chances are you've either clicked on this video to get that question answered or to tell me New World is dead. Either way, you could sound off in the comments, and if there is a third option out there, I'd love to hear why you clicked on this video. But beyond that, I'm going to talk to you guys about what I'm really liking about Season 5, and we're going to categorize it as well. And I'm going to first talk about, though, if you're absolutely brand new and you clicked on this video and you haven't purchased the game, is New World worth your time? And the thing I want to make you immediately well aware of, just as a friendly, financial advisor moment in a way, not financial advice in this case, but the game goes on sale really frequently. Roughly, I think maybe one every 2 months, at least sometime within the season. There tends to be a Steam summer sale or some kind of reason to discount the game, and that means that you could find the game somewhere, sometimes 50% off or more. Now, I think the entry price at $40, or I think it's $60 with the expansion, or $70, something around that, is you're easily going to get that time back. This game can really consume you, and overall reviews of this game tend to be up until the quote-unquote endgame. That's where people end up getting frustrated, but that's what I wanted to talk to the returning players about as well. But on that note, should you return? This in and of itself, I wish I could kind of categorize like returners into different buckets. Like if you've only been away for a month, I don't think there's going to be that much in this update that's really going to appeal to you as a player who recently just stepped away from the game. However, the further back you go, the more value is easily communicated within the game in and of itself. For me, the big feature here, the reason why this is a perfect time for me to invest more time into New World, is that native controller support. As a kind of PSA to anybody who's out there watching my controller guides and more, disable the Steam input for controller support because the game now supports it natively, and it's much better than anything I created. I have a guide up here on the channel if you guys are interested or you need that, but beyond that in and of itself, that is kind of such a a defining feature. Now, I've called this update a massive foundation update because the combat animation system has been completely overhauled and it feels so much better. I actually enjoy combat so much more based off of this change. Beyond that, obviously, you see a couple of bits and pieces of content. More foundational pieces have been laid in the previous season, and as we kind of look towards the future, and that's the biggest drawback of the game right now, is the developers are kind of stuck in this big announcement in June kind of loop where it's either going to be the best thing, it's going to be one of those most memorable moments in in the game for a while, or it's not going to meet our expectations. They run the risk of that being that they've continued to kind of punt to Summer's Games Fest. So when Summer's Games Fest kicks off, we're going to learn a ton about what their future plans are for the game. And the other thing that I'm really enjoying, which is something I kind of push back on in certain games, is the matchmaking. It's been a lot of fun to dive more into the Exped dungeons, and that came in late in Season 4, but that's already here. And so if you've taken a break for a long time, you get to step back into a world where it's going to matchmake you into expeditions so that you're not necessarily having to spend so much time. So it is a path of least resistance. It is a move that makes it easier to jump into the game and do some content, and that's what I was able to do today on stream, is run an expedition while I was doing other things in the game world. It helps kind of, for me, keep the flow going, makes things a little less pre-gaming and more. But there are harder difficulties that obviously that requirement will come more into play. And yeah, I think that is and why I've called Season 5 more of a foundational patch for what is to come later this year. Now, rumor is, and pretty much I would put money on it, that this game is going to be coming to consoles. And the reason why this game's coming to consoles is because they're also investing in their engine and system and team to also make a Lord of the Rings MMO on the same engine. Now, I was asked today on stream if this is, I feel like this is taking away from New World, and I don't think it is at all. Like, the investment they're making into New World is benefiting them there, and the work that they're doing on the Lord of the Rings MMO is actually directly benefiting us here, and that's why this foundational patch exists. And Lord of the Rings has already been confirmed for consoles as well as PC. So I think New World ends up benefiting from all the different levels of investment that they're making into it. I think it's also a tax thing. There's a big difference between capitalized tax and recurring or ongoing. And so when it comes to different development and the fact that they're probably can offload some of that capitalization tax onto Lord of the Rings and benefit New World, that would be how I think it might be working. Who knows? I'm not necessarily an expert when all things are considered in that. I just know that's something that we talk about and deal with within development all the time. I think when this is all said and done, season 5 isn't going to be the moment. It isn't going to be one of those times where everybody's like, yes, this was the right time to start. But like I said, the further back you go, the longer that you've been on a break, and if you are not actively enjoying a ton of other amazing games already out this year, and just to name a few, I'm loving Dragon's Dogma 2. Enshrouded is a game that I really want to put some more time into, and I want to go and finish Final Fantasy VII Remake. And today just launched the Final Fantasy 16 crossover event in Final Fantasy 14, so I'm going to make some time to go and check that out. Hopefully this week as well. And so there's just a lot going on. So I get the draw. And then we go into June where you're going to be faced up with the big Elden Ring DLC, which in and of itself, I really enjoy Elden Ring and I really enjoy New World. And I think that they have, there is going to be some overlap, because while New World isn't that kind of Souls-like, that kind of Elden Ring combat, that's essentially a big part of the inspiration for the engine and the combat that they have. But when it's all said and done, I think this is a fun time to come back, especially if you've been away for a while. You're going to get a ton of content to do in said time, and hopefully you guys enjoy all of both the quality of life changes, but overall just the content that the team has been adding. I really enjoy the things and the fights and the things they put into practice, and honestly the Expedition dungeons, as I call them, are really wonderful. I really appreciate the level of effort, and I look forward to more. And unfortunately for players who are active, this is not a big enough dish. And so hopefully we're going to get some new news about PvP. Hopefully we'll get some new news about PvE and so much more this summer, but we'll obviously have to keep you guys up to date and more. But if you're looking for somebody to play with, if you're looking to team up, the Discord we have here at the channel is open. The top link in the description will get you to the Discord, podcast, and all the other content that I make here on YouTube. You're welcome to join in. We're a fun, I think, bunch, pretty chill bunch of guys, probably some gals. Sometimes gals pop in. And it's just a good time, and you're welcome to come join in, and I hope to have you there. So check it out if you guys want. Otherwise, guys, thanks so much for being here. If you feel like these videos earn it and they weren't wasting your time, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And I would love to have you here, as that really helps support me and this channel. And that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you all so much for your time. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then.